Hey everybody, Matt Green here, and welcome to episode number 11 of Smart Talk. And today I'm going to answer questions about smoothies, whether you can have them every single day or not. We also had questions about potatoes, sweeteners, and lots of other questions that I'm going to be answering for you today. So it's a great episode. Today is Thanksgiving in the United States, so happy Thanksgiving to you guys out there. And a lot of great questions today. I'm excited to answer them for you guys. And let's get started with the episode. It's episode 11.
Dorothy asks, we use honey to sweeten tea. Is this okay?
Hey Dorothy, great question. And honey is fantastic to use in your tea. It's a great option and great choice. So you just want to be careful that you're not using white sugar or table sugar, because those are the ones that you're going to want to avoid. So you made a smart decision with using honey. And the only thing I would recommend with honey is avoiding using too much of it. You want to make sure that you use a small amount, the least amount as possible that you need to sweeten your tea. Because the more sugar that you eat, the higher your blood sugar levels are going to be, and the more chance you're going to have that you may gain weight. So the least amount of sugar that you need to use is going to be the best, but in my opinion, honey is the best option. That's a smart decision. And there's some other options that you have as well, and I just wanted to cover those too. And one of them would be stevia. Another one would be coconut palm sugar. You can play around with that as well. And those are the other two sugars that I would recommend as a sweetener that you can try too. But no big deal with the honey. It's a smart decision, and you're doing the right thing.
Wendy asks, I'd like to have the protein smoothie every morning before breakfast. Is that possible? I know that each meal is balanced, but are the meals within the day balanced together, making switches unwise?
Hey Wendy, awesome question, and you are able to switch meals around. This is actually something that's very common practice, that members are always changing meals around, so it's totally okay. And you can change meals around if you prefer another meal that's on a different day and you want to move it up to the day that you're currently on. That's fine. And it's always a good thing to switch meals around and make sure that you position the meal plans that are structured with the foods that you love the most, because that's just going to make the plan a lot easier for you to follow, and it's going to help you achieve better success. So in regards to the smoothie, we usually recommend having it once every other day, because we recommend having fruit once every other day, because fruit is one of the things on the plan that has a lot of sugar. So fruits are a food that you want to limit your consumption of because of the sugar content of fruits. So that's what I would recommend, is sticking to the once every other day. But if you want to try it every single day, you can try it out. But if you notice that the result or goal that you're trying to achieve kind of plateaus, like for example if you're trying to lose weight, then you're going to want to go back to the every other day. But if you're trying to just overall be healthy and enjoy yourself and improve the quality of foods that you're eating, then you totally could have a smoothie every day. And that's something I do personally. I don't have any weight to lose, so I'm just eating healthy, high quality foods, and just focusing on eating the highest quality foods that are available to me. And so I don't worry about how much fruit I'm eating, because I'm not trying to lose weight. So it's really going to come down to the goal that you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to lose weight, then you may want to have a smoothie every other day. But if you're fine with your weight and you just want to be healthier, then fruits every day would be fine. That would be perfect for you. So it just comes down to that goal. And if you did, let's say you were trying to lose weight and you wanted to have a smoothie every day, it is achievable, because the ingredients of the protein smoothie are almond milk. We recommend a whey protein, and it should be a plain version or the Terra's Whey version, because that's a really clean organic protein. Then we recommend the fruits as well. And with the fruits, you could maybe cut down the amount of fruit that you add in. Maybe you add half the amount of fruits that you would normally put in, and then you could kind of divide it up, so that way you can have a smoothie every day. And you could try it in that kind of format. But it really all comes down to also what works best for you. Try it out, see how it works for you, and if it works, stick with it. If it doesn't, you can change and try something different. But that would be my recommendation.
Delphina asks, what can I do about those cravings?
Hey Delphina, cravings are very annoying, and there's a couple things that you can do to get rid of cravings. So the first thing you can do is shop better at the store. It starts in the grocery store, and if you pick a food out on the shelf and put it in your cart, then you're going to be eating that food, guaranteed. And the one thing I hate with, one thing I dislike about my family is sometimes they'll bring in snacks that aren't the healthiest, and then I get stuck eating them as well. So that's another issue, is people bringing in foods to your house, you buying foods in the grocery store and putting them into your cart. So those are two big culprits of causing cravings, because once it ends up in your house, you're going to be eating it. It's hard to resist. No matter how much willpower you have, you're going to cave. You want to keep those foods out of your house completely. So those are the first two things, is making sure you avoid picking things off the shelf at the grocery store, and then trying to avoid foods that are unhealthy, that are brought in from family and so forth. And another way that you can reduce cravings is just by simply eating a cleaner diet. If you're eating a lot of healthy, organic foods and things like fresh meats and proteins like beef and chicken, and lots of vegetables and spinach and peppers and onions and all these great healthy foods, then that's going to cut down your cravings, and you're going to crave those foods less. So that's another important component to reducing cravings. And another thing that I do to reduce cravings is I take probiotics. That's another supplement that I use to get the good bacteria in my gut balanced properly, so that I have less cravings. And especially if you have a lot of cravings and you're eating sugary foods, then that's going to kill the good bacteria in your gut, which is going to make your body a little bit less healthier. So you're going to want to take probiotics to outnumber the bad bacteria that's in your gut. That's another important component to reducing cravings and staying healthy. And those are the ones that I would really start with to work on immediately right away. And probably the best option that you have to start today would be at the grocery store, and it would be those foods that you're picking out in the aisles of the grocery store. And what I would focus on is staying on the perimeter of the grocery store, so that you're staying away from the middle aisles that typically have all of the processed foods. Stay in the veggie section, the meat section, and the refrigerator sections. Those are going to be the best sections to stay in with the highest quality foods.
Beth asks, I have diverticulitis. What foods would you suggest I eat and or stay away from?
Hey Beth, great question. And diverticulitis can be a tough condition to deal with. And there's lots of foods that you should be eating and some that you shouldn't be eating. The foods that you shouldn't be eating are things like nuts and seeds and even popcorn, because they're small foods and they can get lodged into your intestines. And the foods that you should be eating are lots of high fiber foods like fruits and vegetables. Lots of beans are great, quinoa, rice. Those are all great foods that you can be eating. Oatmeal is great. So most of the foods on the meal plans are going to work very well for you. You just want to watch out for the nuts and seeds. Those are the ones that are going to cause the most complications with diverticulitis.
Gloria asks, a diabetic friend of mine said that the small new potatoes hadn't developed a lot of starch and sugars in them. Are they okay to eat?
Hey Gloria, great question, and this can be a difficult one to answer, because if you're eating a potato, they tend to be starchier. I know what you're trying to say, that it's like fruits. Like if you eat a banana that's really ripe, the more sugar it has, versus if you're eating a banana that's completely yellow and it just became ripe, then it's got a lower amount of sugar in it. So basically, yes, it would be healthier to eat those types of potatoes if they're less starchy, assuming that the theory that you're sharing in this question is correct. And if that were true, then the less starch, then the less blood sugar spike that you would get from that potato. But it's going to come down to testing it, see what works best for you. I don't think it's going to have much of an impact, in my opinion. I think the potato is going to still raise your blood sugar levels and could cause complications for diabetics. You just have to test and see what works for you. And definitely potatoes themselves that in the right form can really spike your blood sugar levels. You just have to be careful with that. And I don't think that this other potato that you're referring to is going to be too far off from the regular potato. But test it out, see what works best for you, and that's what I would recommend. Everybody sort of reacts to foods differently, so you have to see what works best for your body and try it out. Maybe it'll work very well for you, and if it tastes great and works for you, then add it into your diet. That would be great. Awesome questions again today in episode 11, and I want you to submit your question as well. You can do it by clicking the link that's below this video, so you can submit your question. We have lots of other questions that we're eager to be answering in the next couple episodes. So make sure you get your question in so we can squeeze it into a future episode of Smart Talk. And today I have a question of the day. It is, what are you eating today on Thanksgiving? If you're from the US, put your comments below in the comment section. And also, if you're from out of the country, such as Canada or Europe or a different country, then what are you eating for dinner tonight? Post your answers in the comment section below, and I look forward to speaking with you guys and talking with you in the comments. So we'll talk to you in the next episode.